Moving on with the slate of games, the Iron Bowl, Alabama at Auburn. This has been a bad Auburn team as we talked about this season, but you kind of throw that stuff out the window in this game. We talked about a little bit before when it comes to college football playoff rankings, Cole, is that I don't think there's a way the committee would look at this as anything other than a bad loss for Alabama, despite it being the Iron Bowl. I think that'll get brought up. Yes, it's a rivalry. Jordan-Hare Stadium is spooky. Crazy things can happen. But still, this would be Alabama falling to a losing Auburn team so far this season. And there's just been these head scratchers with Alabama all season long. So very similar to the game. This also feels like a coin flip to me.
It can be because it's at Jordan-Hare. By the way,
Yeah.
we in the South call it Jordan-Hare. It's not Jordan-Hare.
I'm sorry. I'm from Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Exactly, you Yankee. No, listen, this truly is a house of horrors for Alabama, and it always will be. Like, you got to ask yourself, when Nick Saban says that Jordan-Hare is such a daunting place to play and I have nightmares of it, you have to respect it. And it's because of every single time that Alabama faces off against Auburn in the Iron Bowl in Tuscaloosa, Alabama wins. Outside of the comeback, they don't lose in Bryant-Denny. Good team, bad team, they find a way to get the job done. When they go travel to Jordan-Hare, a place where the Voodoo Shaman Man has yet to make his yearly appearance like he did last season in a 4-overtime game against Texas A&M, weird stuff happens. It just does. Whether it be Bo Nix is able to go out-duel both the Mac Jones and Tua Tagovailoa, whether it be Jarrett Stidham getting a win, whether it be Gus Malzahn, the kick six we can talk about. There's so many other games that have occurred. The 4-overtime matchup, the 4th and 31 2 years ago. Like, Alabama, for some reason, has struggles there. And I will say that Jordan-Hare is not the most toxic environment in college football, but on Saturday night, it will 100% be. Because, Tom, it's not just Alabama making the college football playoff. It's Auburn fighting for bowl eligibility and DJ Durkin, your favorite guy, fighting for a head coaching job. There is still rumors and speculation that the Boosters would love to just say, rip off the interim tag, keep as many of this defensive players here as possible, go out and bring in a new OC, and we're going to run the show this way. But you got to get a win over a Power 4 team. You didn't do it against Vanderbilt, so now you got to do it in the Iron Bowl. What I look at in this matchup more than anything else is Alabama's offense. Alabama has started to fall off a little bit. And I think that it's fair to say, well, you can't really talk about the rushing attack. I'm not. I'm talking about Ty Simpson has really started to lose a bit of his luster. You know, accurate passes that were right on the money against Georgia, where you were 11 of 11 on third down conversions to begin the game, they're now overshots. You looked fantastic at times against Missouri in the passing game, especially in the short to intermediate part. You're missing wide open targets. I mean, you go back to that matchup against Oklahoma. Oklahoma was able to kind of just put Ty Simpson in a blender of concerns on really critical drives. And that's maybe all Auburn has to do. Like, Ty Simpson can throw for 355 yards. It's not going to matter if he only finds the end zone twice. I wonder what you're going to see from the pressure in this game, because Auburn right now, the strength of Alabama is the weakness of Auburn, and the strength of Auburn is the weakness of Alabama. So one team is really good at the run defense. One team is really terrible at running the football. One team is really good at passing the football. One team struggles in the pass defense. So Alabama is going to have to trust Ty Simpson to kind of go out and win this football game for them. But at the same token, the pass rush for Auburn could get after Ty Simpson and make him throw errant plays to where right place at the right time. Xavier Atkins, a really underrated linebacker, is taking it back to the house for an easy pick six, and that might be all she wrote. I mean, like, again, Oklahoma, they didn't do anything that was really impressive offensively, and they didn't have to because they capitalized on Alabama's mistakes. Can Auburn do the same thing? Ashton Daniels is going to start for Auburn. The last time we saw him throw was for over 300 yards against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's not a good defense in terms of the secondary. They are one of the worst secondaries in college football this year. So that is a way to beat up on Vanderbilt. Alabama has a top 5 secondary. Can you beat up on this secondary that has gone toe-to-toe with multiple talented wide receivers and done a good job of eliminating big-time plays to teams like Georgia and teams like Tennessee and teams like Missouri that all know how to throw the football downfield? That's where you got to ask yourself, what is going to be the time of conversion? I look at this game, I think this is a big-time matchup in favor of Cam Coleman. He is going to have to win his one-on-ones against Dijon Lee and against Amani Jackson. I think on the flip side, Josh Cuevas, the tight end, Cuevas, my apologies. Josh Cuevas, tight end, he's slowly moved up and become a very big security blanket for Alabama, and especially, Ty Simpson. I think in the preview when we broke down Oklahoma, I said, tell me the stat line of Josh Cuevas, and I will tell you if Alabama wins. Well, he led the team in receptions, he led the team in receiving yards, and they still found a way to lose the game. So I don't know if that's going to be the only stat, but I'll tell you that will be the one that I'm paying most attention to. Third down conversion is going to be really big in this matchup. Turnover ratio is going to be really big in this matchup. I think also Auburn setting the tone early in this matchup by getting a strike on the opening drive. That will be a pretty good way to set the tone. At the end of the day, it still is Alabama, but it's the Iron Bowl. It's the Iron Bowl in Jordan Hare, and it's the night game. And on top of that, it is the very last game of the SEC season. You think for 1 second the college football gods have not looked down on what happens inside of that hostile place and go, we're just going to make this a blowout for Alabama? No, they're going to have to claw their way towards proving they belong inside the college football playoff margin.
I'm seeing in the comments section here our good buddy Paul saying Deuce is the quarterback at Auburn. Go War Damn Eagle. To your point about Ashton Daniels, expected to be the guy this weekend. So I think that's one question I have is how many quarterbacks do we see from Auburn against Alabama?
Hey, I'll get right back to the video, but first I do want to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper. Make sure that you are on the Sleeper app. We appreciate all of their support this football season. Use our code CFA for a 100% match up to $100. We will play the More or Less game on Wednesday on the Power 2 live here on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed and don't miss it. Make sure that you've already deposited and you're already good to go. While you're doing holiday shopping for everybody else, make sure you're on the Sleeper app taking care of yourself too. Check their terms and conditions because terms of use do apply. We appreciate Sleeper for their support.
Two, I think you're going to have to. I think that you're going to have to take a playbook out of Lane Kiffin's style where he'll line up Austin Simmons under center and Trinidad Chambliss will be wide out. And that's a handoff on a jet sweep. No, it's not. He's behind the line of scrimmage, plants his foot, goes the other way. It's trickery, it's manipulation, it's being able to catch Alabama slipping at the right time. I mean, dude, they have weapons. Like Auburn, whether or not you want to say is a team that is never able to meet the big expectations, and they haven't for a while. Like, this isn't something new. They always bring in the right type of recruits. The way they develop them has always been the problem. But, I mean, Cam Coleman is a top 5 wide receiver in college football when he's fully healthy. Eric Singleton is a stud and a speedster in space. You still got really good play in guys like Perry Thompson and Kane, and then you could also throw in Malcolm Simmons. There's a slew of names that can really beat you, and then Jeremiah Cobb out of the backfield can easily be able to put on the brakes, and he's got some physicality to his running style. So I think that you will see Deuce Knight out there. What I'll be interested in is, are we sending Deuce Knight out as the passer to where he takes the jet sweep and now he's throwing the football downfield? Because I don't know if you watched the Mercer game. They were trailing at one point, and then third quarter comes around, and dude, I don't know. You look at how he played. Deuce Knight's got something in him to where whoever is the next head coach at Auburn, priority number one, make sure that he does not leave for a better NIL deal elsewhere. Like, that's it. So I'm telling you, there's going to be a reason to believe that he is going to play in this game.
Yeah, I would expect to see both. I mean, even Jackson Arnold got a little run against Mercer. So, like, putting it into perspective, it was Mercer last week that a lot of Auburn fans are freaking out about Deuce Knight. And his only other performance this year was against Ball State. So this would be a huge step up in competition and in pressure. 6 touchdowns. Was it close to 500 yards of offense in total for Deuce Knight? It was a pretty impressive outing against Mercer. So is he able to do something similar with limited opportunities? Let's pick this one. We actually don't have a pick from TJ in this one. He missed that one just in the handful of games we were talking about. But as of this recording, let me see what the spread is. I think it's 6.5 in favor of Alabama with an over under 46.5. What do you feel?
As much as I do believe that this is a house of horrors for Alabama, this is still a team that I trust. And better yet, at the end of the day, I look at the quarterback position. Who do I think is better? Deuce Knight or a seasoned guy like Ty Simpson that has been starting to lose a little bit of luster, but still has proven that he is a top 5 quarterback in college football this year. Alabama wins, Alabama covers. It's going to be a late cover, but I think that they're able to march on into Jordan Hare. They get a 27-21 victory.
I was going to say 27-17, so kind of like right in that ballpark. I think Alabama covers this situation here, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a competitive game, to your point. This hopefully is something that goes into the fourth quarter and is close. I think just for the sake of us as fans. So
They're not out of the woods yet, though, if they are to win, because you still have to make it a competitive matchup against Texas A&M or Georgia, depending on what happens in those two games.